Friends, this is Worm, back today with more elitist opinions. I know, evil, right? Of course, for those of y'all who may have missed it or haven't logged into Destiny yet, there is a new exotic mission available for players to get a very, very neat exotic weapon. You're actually seeing gameplay of that in the background now, so I guess if you don't want spoilers, don't watch or something like that, whatever. Anyways, the reason I wanted to make this video today is because I have a question. Is this mission too hard? Now, that's going to be the premise of what we're talking about today, is whether or not this mission is too hard. Because let me just give my opinions right out the gate. No, I didn't struggle with this mission at all. I got the entire thing done in about 30 minutes, first clear, right? And that was 30 minutes because I was learning mechanics. I was learning, I was looking at the environment. I was figuring my way around. Like, I was doing all different kinds of stuff. I think actually the footage you're watching here is my first clear. I think I died a couple times, like 2, maybe 3 times during this entire mission. And it took me, like I said, 30 minutes to clear it my first time. But that is apparently not a shared experience with a lot of other people, because if you go on the Bungie forums or on Reddit or on any other facet of social media, it is flooded with players complaining and quite frankly whining about, it's too difficult, I can't beat it, I've been stuck here for 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. I think the longest one I saw was 4.5 hours later, still no wish keeper because I can't get past the boss, blah blah blah, right? Here's the thing that I wanted to talk about, right? And again, like, I know I say, oh, elitist, blah, blah, blah. Hear me out before you go formulating opinions, right? Bungie has a problem. Bungie has a major problem, and this mission shows what that problem is. The problem is, in my opinion, player entitlement. Everything in Destiny 2 is handed out like candy. I mean, everything. Look at raid weapons. Raid weapons. Hey, you want a god roll raid weapon? Sorry, do 5 raids over the course of 5 weeks. Here you go. You can put whatever you want on it. You want a really good trials weapon or something like that. Just go into games. Whether you win or lose, you'll eventually get the role you're looking for. You can go focus them. You'll get them. You want I don't know, what's something else that's difficult to get. You want a insert whatever it is. Except for maybe adept weapons. Here you go. Here, let me just hand it to you. You want an exotic? Here you go. Let me just hand it to you, right? Like, that's been this motto that Destiny 2 has had for several years now. And it's the same every time a new exotic mission comes out. It's the same people. No, it's too hard, I struggle, blah 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 blah, whatever. I close my ears to you. I don't close my ears to you. I hear what you're saying, but all these posts that I'm seeing about this mission being too difficult, too hard, too long, too whatever it is, nobody gives a reference as to why it's too hard, right? All I see is people complaining. Oh, it's too difficult. I've been stuck here for 2.5 hours. It's BS. Like, it took me 3 hours to clear it. What a ride. I don't know what's going on. Like, I know, like, obviously I have way more time invested in Destiny. I'm also using one of the maybe most broken builds in the game. I'm using Strand Titan, which is insane. I mean, you watch right here. Watch the background footage right now. Like, I'm literally being swarmed with ads. I'm able to survive. Like, yes, I'm not saying that I'm not crutching on something that is very, very good. But at the same time, like, players, they're complaining because something is too hard. And a brand new exotic, I think it's a very good exotic, mind you, very good, brand new exotic, is taking too long to get. Like, why are people so entitled in Destiny? Like, they think that everything should just be handed to them. And of course, this is not all players, not everybody, but there's a huge portion of players that they think, I play the game, so I should be handed everything that we have. If you did not play Destiny 1, I strongly encourage you to go back in a time capsule, right? YouTube time capsule, that is. Watch old videos, like really old videos from like 2014, 2015 on how to get loot and how to do this, that, and the other. Guys, when I tell you Vault of Glass, when it initially launched, was like the hardest thing ever, I'm not even kidding. Like, literally, you would have people that wouldn't let you in their fire team if you were not at max level. And mind you, max level, of course, back then was a little bit more difficult to achieve because you had to get lucky with it, and you actually have to do that raid in order to get max level gear. It was a toxic environment, but back in Destiny 1, you didn't get handed anything. Like it was different back then. Like there was a lot of RNG involved, yes. And here's the thing, like, you know, it's no secret, I don't think anybody likes when stuff is just strictly RNG. So I think it's good that we moved away from that. But at the same time, Bungie has really softened up on the loot and stuff in Destiny 2. And so now we're in a situation where players expect to be handed everything. Players expect to be able to do stuff solo with ease, right? Again, like I'm not trying to sound elitist, but I also am trying to sound elitist, I guess, because that's not how it is. That is just not how it is. Okay, a brand new exotic mission, if you can clear it in 30 minutes on whatever class, that's great. That shows that you are a player who has invested time and you deserve to have that clear time be quick. But if you are not an invested player, you don't have as much time as like maybe like somebody like me or, you know, other content creators and stuff like that in Destiny 2, that's also fine. Just go slower throughout the mission. People have been so used to, I'm gonna speed run this strike to get, you know, this strike to get my loot. And that's what players try to do. Like I had this same issue when I was attempting my solo Warlord's Ruin run, right? It took me like 4 hours, you know? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, why is it taking so long? And so guess what I did? I started analyzing my gameplay. I was going way too fast. I was trying to do things. I was putting, you know, speed ahead of my own well-being, so to speak. And it kept getting me killed. And so finally on the final boss, which I was stuck at the final boss forever, right? At the final boss, I was like, you know what? We're gonna take it slow. Because every time I die and have to start over, and because I'm trying to go too fast, it's just costing me more time. So when I actually killed the final boss, literally I took it slow. I took it so slow. I mean, I think at every single floor, every single level, I took it at least 2 phases to get him to move up to the next level, right? Took it slow, but hey, slow and steady wins the race. It's the same thing with difficult missions such as this mission. And mind you, this is the normal version we're talking about. I don't even want to know about people's experience in the legendary version. I don't think the legendary version is going to be that difficult personally, but you know, neither here nor there. You know, if you're having difficulty in solo content, number one, you need to build craft better. Okay, I see too many players complaining about, oh, you know, this is difficult. Like, you know, on the Bungie forums, for example, you can click on people's names and you can inspect their character and you can see what they have. I'm seeing people with the most random loadouts in here that are complaining that this mission is difficult. Like there's no synergies, you know, they're not build crafting and all. They don't have the mods and stuff. And I'm like, you're gonna sit here and complain that it is too difficult, but you're not even investing the time into build crafting. Like, you know, you see me on Strand Titan here. I have heavily built into the playstyle. I have used this playstyle again and again and again. I know exactly what I'm doing when I'm playing with this build and utilizing this playstyle, right? Of course it's not gonna take me long. I've memorized it, right? But players, like they're throwing on random exotics, they're throwing on, you know, this, that, and the other, and they're complaining about it. And again, it all goes back to that sense of entitlement. Like players just, oh, like, you know, I deserve to have this in my hands. I deserved, you know, I put in 30 minutes, so I deserve to have this. Like, no, not really. Like I see people, you know, with flawless raider emblems and stuff like that, and I look at them, I'm like, that's a time commitment. That is an effort to be made right there. Because to do a dungeon flawlessly, especially some of these recent ones, you know, like Duality, like Warlord's Ruin, Ghosts of the Deep, these are not easy things to do flawlessly. I have a high respect for them, and it kind of sucks that, you know, all you get is an emblem for doing that. But at the same time, you know, who am I to say anything about that, right? But, you know, players, if you're having difficulty, number one, just slow down. But number two, like, build craft. Bungie's not going to hand you everything. They're not going to say, here you go, we feel bad for you because you haven't been able to beat it, so here's your pity raid weapon, you know, here's your pity crafted raid weapon because we know that it's very difficult, blah blah blah. I don't know. Anyways, look, the mission was fantastic. It was not as hard as people are making it out to be. I guarantee you, depending on your class you're playing, it's going to be more difficult. If I were to get on Hunter, I would definitely have, you know, a more difficult time, but it's not impossible. You know, it's with the right builds, it's not going to take you hours and hours and hours to do. Like I said, this, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic. This run right here, I think in total took me 30 minutes. and it was my very first clear. The one that I did right after to see if you could get the catalysts and the upgrades for the bow took me like I think 12 to 15 minutes to clear the whole thing as a solo player. I don't know. I'm just asking questions, right? But yeah, don't complain about something, especially on the first day, you know, especially whenever you expect to get it done super fast and you can't do it. Like just slow down, put more time into it, get your build crafting on point, and you'll be fine. That being said though, I want to hear your opinions, of course, on the mission itself. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. The lore, the environment, the gameplay, it was all incredibly fun, and I had a blast playing it. I had a blast doing it, but I want to hear your thoughts on that. And of course, what are your thoughts on what I've said here? Do you think that there are too many players that are complaining over nothing, or do you have valid complaints? You know, and if you have valid complaints, don't just say it was too hard, it sucked. Like, give actual reasons, like what made it too hard, you know, give Bungie actual feedback, because Bungie can't go off of, you know, 20 posts saying this mission sucked. What made it suck? Oh, it just sucked. It was just awful. Well, why was it awful? Well, it took me a long time to do. Okay, it took you a long time to do, but what made it bad, right? Yeah, anyways, we're going off on a tangent here. That being said, do me a favor, like the video if you enjoyed it, or if I made a good point here, so drop a like, subscribe for more daily Destiny content, and then yeah, do me a favor, watch these videos you see on the end screen, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks you'll like them. Guys, we'll see you all next time. Bye for now.